Mighty verses to all. It's time for some musication. Some musications with Goat versus Fish. And how are we versing this morning? Are you ready to triumph? Practice makes verses. You're getting wet, Dragon Balls 325. Maybe you're getting wet. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. How we versing out there? How we versing out there? Goat and fish. Goat and fish out there in the universe. Goat and fish out there in the universe. Yes, celebration, celebration. Celebration for goat versus fish. Celebration for goat versus fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Welcome to another Musication. Musication Wednesdays where we're going to play some goat versus fish. We're going to practice some goat versus fish. New guitar, you ask goat versus fish. New guitar, you ask goat versus fish? Oh, no, no, no. We've had this versus for about a year now. A G&L legacy from right here in California. Celebration for goat. 999 LSD OCDs for goat. Team Ellis Fish. Ham Mod. Celebration. Dragon Balls 325. We've been pondering. We need more practice of goat versus fish. We've played for you the musications. We've played for you the songs. But goat versus fish has been pondering. Goat versus fish has been pondering. We need some pick and practice. We need some pick and practice on goat versus fish, don't we? Might we need some pick and practice on goat versus fish? Goat versus fish has been reading chords, all these verses, but what about the tabs for goat versus fish? Who's been keeping tabs on goat versus fish? If goat versus fish is ever going to shred, if goat versus fish is ever going to do the metal, I can fix Amber Heard! Do not make demands of goat versus fish! Requests are one verses, but we will not hear your demands. We have told you, verses and verses again, not to make demands of goat versus fish. You don't listen to goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. The tabs, they might be slow. They might be slow. The tabs might be slow for goat versus fish, but if we ever want to do metallic shredding, goat versus fish is going to have to learn how to do some tabs for goat versus fish. So, because goat versus fish needs to learn some tabs of goat versus fish, goat versus fish thought, why don't we look at because from goat versus fish? Why don't we look at because? Because if we want to learn tabs, then because would be a great versus. It would be a great versus to look at because we want to learn some tabs of goat versus fish. So why don't we do this? Because why not? Because why not? Because why not? Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. You might as well perceive what we're versing at here on Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is wearing our Deep Fat Fried shirt. We just got a call from Deep Fat Fried. They may be requesting the services from Goat versus Fish once again. And isn't that a celebration? And isn't that a celebration? And isn't that a celebration? Isn't that a celebration? Goat versus fish like this. Goat versus fish like this. And now you can look at what we're looking at on Goat versus Fish. Here's some tabs of Goat versus Fish. Some tabs for us to view on Goat versus Fish. As we said, it may be a bit go slowing and maybe a bit go slowing. But Goat versus Fish has to begin learning. Has to begin learning. That's what these musications are all about. We said we need dedication, musication time. Goat versus Fish will information you that there is a new clip of Goat versus Fish now on the Instagram of Goat versus Fish. Why don't you all go unto there? Like, leave a commentation. There's a pinned comment instructing you what sort of comment to leave. Maybe even repost. Maybe even repost. Why don't we watch that versus now? Why don't we watch that versus now and see what's up? Let's show you what's going on. Let's show you what's going on Goat versus Fish. What's Goat versus Fish trying to show you out there? Well, we'll show you what Goat versus Fish is trying to show you. And we'll show you right here. Let's watch and have a look.
Fine day, 400 years before Christ was born, Diogenes of Sinope crapped in the Athens marketplace. As a cynic, Diogenes rejected social customs as vanity. He believed that man's attempts to distance himself from the animals were self-deceptions. Fine clothes, gourmet food, formal rituals, the pursuit of beauty, all were narcissistic attempts to deny our nature. Why should there be things that you can do in private but not in public? If human necessity is in accordance with nature, isn't it in accordance with nature no matter where it is addressed? I say this about the being we are gathered here for. Goat versus fish, the eternal being. He's the Diogenes of our time. taking a big fat shit right in the middle of comedic discourse, right in the middle of YouTube and Twitch. He takes the fattest shit on satire and taking sides. He's the pure excrement of comedy. And because he makes us choose number one or number two, I say go for number two, GOAT. Gotta go for number two, baby.
Glorious verses. What a glorious verses. So yes, go and like unto that verses. Like, repost, and comment on that verses. Number two was Fish, how dare? Well, that's GOAT for you. That's GOAT for you. So go check out that verses. When we posted it just this verses, not an hour ago, in preparation for you to go and lend your support for GoatVsFish. So without further offense, GoatVsFish. You're starting to hear it now. Fish. GoatVsFish. Some of you must already be familiar with this verses. that's getting close to the verses. It's getting close to the verses. We know it sounds oh so pleasant to you. It sounds oh so stilted and not so fast and not so quick, but Goat versus Fish, we have to start at these verses. We have to start with these verses. There's perhaps an even simpler verses. Maybe you, Goat and Fish, out there, since Goat versus Fish wants to practice some riffing, wants to practice looking at some of these numbers and trying to decipher if they are goat or fish. Maybe there's some licks, maybe there's some picks that you could recommend to Goat versus Fish. Maybe Dragon Balls 325 can start Goat versus Fish off with a simple, humble verses. Perhaps you have a recommendation. What's a song that Goat versus Fish could pick at that might be great practice for Goat versus Fish? Goat versus Fish. Have to reach for that. Goat versus Fish. Three power chords, that's it. Goat versus Fish isn't really looking for power chords at this verses, are we? Goat versus Fish is looking for picking. We want to pick about. We want to just pick about. We want to pick it out. Goat versus Fish wants to pick it out. That's why Goat versus fish thought of because. Goat versus fish thought of because we wanted to pick it out. But we could pick out a lot of different verses. We could pick out a lot of different verses. And now it may sound, oh, Goat versus Fish, you sound fancy, but you should have heard Goat versus Fish years ago on the streams of Goat versus Fish. Even this versus was slow for Goat versus Fish. But Goat versus Fish, we need more picking on Goat versus Fish. We could, of course, play fish scales. We could, of course, play fish scales on Goat versus Fish. C sharp, the sharp of the sea of the fish. We can just repetition that verses over and over again. Ah! What are you even playing, and what and for what? Well, if you had been listening to Goat vs. Fish, you would have been hearing that we are playing it because. We are playing it because. And we are playing it not for any upcoming show. Goat vs. Fish is playing it just to know. Goat vs. Fish has been playing many chords before. And Goat vs. Fish has been enjoying these chords to sing along with Goat vs. Fish. But if Goat vs. Fish wants to improve our shredding capability, then Goat vs. Fish has to get superior at picking a melody, picking other kinds of patterns. And so why not do that here on Goat vs. Fish? Oh, yes, the goat and fish, they may lose faith in Goat vs. Fish. They may turn away from Goat vs. Fish. They may say, Goat vs. Fish. This is not so entertaining, Goat vs. Fish. We are not hearing the song of Goat vs. Fish. But Goat vs. Fish fears not this, for once Goat vs. Fish does practice and improve Goat vs. Fish. It will inspire the congregation to practice and improve themselves. Goat vs. Fish will no longer turn away from these fancy pickings. No, if we want to master this fence, then Goat vs. Fish, we have to go through the hard verses, and we have to pick away. Appreciation, shredding your way into Lucid Nap's heart. Appreciation. But we suppose we could check on a verses here. Maybe we could find some chiptune version.
Fine day.
Appreciation. Beatles chiptune. Because. Well, that's not coming through very well at all, is it? Let's try another verses. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. What's this versus?
One, two, three, four.
There you have it. Something like that.
One, two, three, four.
So there you have it. We'll probably get demonetization for that. Just for that, most certainly demonetization for Goat vs. Fish. So if Goat vs. Fish wants to play that versus, well, practice makes verses. Practice makes verses. Goat versus Fish. Because, Lord Saturn, because. We are learning because. We are learning because we are surprised that more are not immediately familiar with this verses, but maybe GoatVsFish is playing it just so fencily. Maybe GoatVsFish is playing it so fencily. That you can't tell. That's a bit moogie. That's a bit moogie. That's the verses. That's the verses. And it's called Because. You can look it up. It's called Because. Because. To I like it. To GoatVsFish, GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish knows this verses so well. We are surprised that so many of you are just hearing it now. But that's the verses. So when we thought, GoatVsFish wants to practice some picking, GoatVsFish immediately thought of this verses. But if you have a recommendation, if you have some other recommendation for GoatVsFish, where GoatVsFish could practice reading some tabs, why don't we try that? Tabs. What's a nice verses for tab practice for GoatVsFish? Even something simple, some simple tabs for GoatVsFish. What would be some simple tabs practice for GoatVsFish? Why don't we look that up on the interwebiverse? And by the verses, Lord Saturn and everyone here in the congregation, go and like and repost and comment on, repost the latest Instagram clip of GoatVsFish. We arose early just so we could post this clip, just so we could share it with you, just so you could like and repost and comment on this clip, just so we can further the spreading of the Church of GoatVsFish. Live Undead by Slayer. We suspect that would be not an easy verses. Also, GoatVsFish kind of has to know the song. GoatVsFish has to know the song. GoatVsFish has to know the song quite well so we can properly emulate it. Oh, GoatVsFish, we could do Manzanita. That's one we have not done in the verses. Rock Lobster. Rock Fenster, more like it. Well, GoatVsFish made a request, you see. GoatVsFish asked for your input. The fence sitter I can fix Amber Heard lacks basic social graces. They need instruction by GoatVsFish and the congregation. As we have said, we are quite certain that this is not the first they have heard this. We can tell even through the interwebiverse. Well, here's the verses. Perhaps this is GoatVsFish versus GoatVsFish. Rock Lobster is honorarily a fish. That sounds pretty great. Must be nice to be an honorary fish. Oh, but the verse is, but wait, GoatVsFish. This verse is tuned to a totally different verses. Well, it seems to verse well enough. It's time to learn. It's time to learn more picking, lysergic fish. Oh, my verses. We're just down picking. Well, we're going. You can. Well, we suppose. If you want to see what Goat vs. Fish is versing over here. We need customization Goat vs. Fish picks. Goat vs. Fish has been looking into Goat vs. Fish picks. We have a recommendation. Goat vs. Fish ordered some fans. For this versus, we're going. What is this? Alternate versus? Recommendation. We suppose Goat vs. Fish could. It's a nice versus indeed. Goat vs. Fish could. Pondering. Goat vs. Fish, we could try to find some sort of online metronome. Online metronome. We wonder what BPM this might be. Metronome. What's this? Fence, 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 fence. See, even at this slow verses, we still fence it up, but that's why practice makes verses. fun versus. That is a fun versus. Appreciation. Who made this recommendation? Who made this recommendation to Goat versus Fish? This is a great versus to start. This is a great versus to start. Some timed picking for Goat versus Fish. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, fish. Chorus, listen to the song to get a feel for the amount. Well, we'll just do this for now. We'll just do this for now. Goat, fish. Goat versus fish. Maybe that's the verses. That would be 8 verses. That would be 8 verses, and we count Goat versus Fish. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. Are there 8 verses? Are there 8 verses here? Goat versus Fish. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. There are 8 verses. There are 8 verses in that verses. We were counting 6 verses, but there's 8 verses. It says to listen. We know it says to listen to the verses. We know it says to listen to the verses, but then Goat versus Fish would, once again, it says probably going to mute Goat versus Fish. They might ban Goat versus Fish. They might ban Goat versus Fish. But we'll see if we can find a chip tune of this versus. How do all the metal musication makers here on Twitch, how do they avoid getting all fenced up when they play along with their musications? Do they get DJ capabilities or apply for the DJ program or some kind of verses like this? Goat versus Fish Wonders. Goat versus Fish. We wonder. Goat versus Fish. We wonder. What if we went like to 60% versus? What if Goat versus Fish went to 50% versus? Goat versus Fish. Oh, that's not at all in the same verses. That's not at all in the same verses. That's not at all in the same verses. But we wonder now. We wonder a capo on Goat versus Fish. No, Goat. It's a bit higher, but... And it's a bit out of... Oh, there's the verse. Interesting verses. We wonder, could we... Goat versus Fish, we must have a capo somewhere. We must have a capo somewhere. The search for the capo of Goat versus Fish. The search for the capo of Goat versus Fish. Radiation detection, radiation detection. The Uncle Bo with 3 for Goat versus Fish. Appreciation the Uncle Bo. Appreciation the Uncle Bo. Goat versus Fish is looking for the capo, the Uncle Bo. You don't know where Goat versus Fish's capo is, do you? Well, it would seem that the cape of Goat versus Fish is currently non-existent. Celebration! 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 Nothing. So we'll just have to versus without it. The Uncle Bo, how was your versus? How was your versus? We could always attempt this. 110-ish. Oh, yes, it's a quick one, but we're versing it slower. Clearly, we're versing it slower for Goat versus Fish. Some verses like that. Some verses like that. Ah! Even at this verses. Does not seem to be versing as fast on that verses. But Goat versus Fish, we practice this verses, we practice this verses. And we can versus it again, and we can versus it again. Rock Lobster, says Commodore Friday. You know the verses. We want to know if the rock lobster is goat or if it is fish. Slow and evil, yes. Slow and evil. Crustacean is fish adjacent. Fish adjacent, some might say goat adjacent. Well, if it's too fast for Goat versus Fish, if it's too fast for Goat versus Fish, then we just have to slow down the verses. Until Goat versus Fish can get faster. Goat, fish, goat, fish. Brent Stallion, we'll see you next verses. Celebration. Goat versus Fish is enjoying this verses very much. Enjoying very much this practice of goat versus fish. Practice with a fensternome, they keep telling goat versus fish. Practice with a fensternome, they keep telling goat versus fish. And then there's all this kinds of verses here. That's a strange verses. Any other recommendations for goat versus fish? So for picking practice for goat versus fish, we've got because, we've got rock lobster, goat versus fish wants to try an old verses, manzanita. That's one we simply must learn. By none other than Chicano Batman. Chicano Batman. Chicano Batman. Zzz. Hey, tomfoolery, what's up? Zzz. Song versus fish. So here's someone playing a cover of the verses. Let's hear how they do the cover. Oop, they look confident. They look confident. They look confident in their coverage. They look confident in their coverage. Let's see if it's true. Let's see if their coverage is true. Let's see if their coverage is true. Let's have a listen. There it is. There's the axe. There's the axe. Let's see how they play it. Let's see how they play it. Not quite the verses. Not quite. We appreciation. Your most glorious effort. You probably can verse it far superiorly to Goat versus Fish. But we're versing for something a little bit tighter for Goat versus Fish. Of course, there's the original verses. Tiny Desk Concert. Celebration for Tiny Desk Concert. Well, let's have a look. We could try look at this live versus, see what happens. Nothing quite sounds like the original verses. We'll just play the original verses, and they'll probably just edit out Goat versus Fish. There's the verses. So there's the verses. Once more. Celebration. It's been a long versus since Goat versus Fish has got Z's in the chat for Goat versus Fish. It's kind of like an ancient versus. That's like World of Fencecraft kind of versus. Like, oh, you're taking too long, Z. Thank you for bringing us back to an earlier time of the interwebiverse. Verses were so much simpler then. We remember that being much more difficult for Goat versus Fish back in the verses. But we're just beginning. It versus further here. Oh, so tiny for you to see, so tiny for you to scarcely see. We'll just do a basic verses for now. How are we versing today, says Encrypted? Oh, we're just getting back to basic verses, practicing some picking on Goat vs. Fish. We know you're used to hearing all kinds of songs and all kinds of chords by Goat vs. Fish. But Goat vs. Fish can't just rely on old verses. Goat vs. Fish has to practice new verses. Goat vs. Fish needs verse improvement on Goat vs. Fish, and that means practicing picking away at melodies for Goat vs. Fish. So that's the verses there. We can just practice that verses. Celebration more fish. Goat versus fish. Roy Story Celebration, Dragon Ball's Goat. Confidence for Goat versus Fish. It's versing along. It's versing along for Goat versus Fish. It's versing along for Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish does have a versus tonight at none other than the Booby Trap LA. Goat versus Fish is going back to the Booby Trap LA. It's a great show. It's a great show in Los Angeles. The Booby Trap. And Goat versus Fish will be there, and Goat versus Fish will be there. But we don't think we'll be playing Electrification. We think we'll be playing some classic verses. We'll be playing some classics. Goat versus Fish. 4 glorious minutes. 4 glorious minutes. 4 glorious minutes of Goat versus Fish. 4 glorious minutes of Goat versus Fish. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So let's break it out. Let's break it out. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Fish. It's versible. Goat versus Fish. 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 DJ Pasty, how's the DJing going? What were you trying to learn? That one was called La Manzanita by Chicano Batman. La Manzanita. La Manzanita. It's a beautiful little verses. It's a beautiful little verses. We have already compromised our monetization 1 million verses over. So we'll try playing for you. We'll try playing for you the riff here. It goes a bit like this. It's a lovely little verses, isn't it, Dragon Balls? We are sure you could learn. You could learn it so fast, we think. Get that tremolo pedal. By all verses. By all verses. If you have gear you want to purchase for Goat vs. Fish, exclamation point mail, and send it to Goat vs. Fish. Send it all the way to Goat vs. Fish. Send it all the way. Send it all the way. Well, there are many pedals out there. Surely you could find one that's to your verses. Goat vs. Fish will play. Not necessary, just want one. Well, you'll be able to find that much is not necessary, but it is up to you what you do. Well, Goat vs. Fish is practicing the shredding now, or was. We have been avoiding it for too long. The old acoustic, the new acoustic. Exclamation clip, Goat and Fish. We spend many verses, many hours editing these clips of Goat vs. Fish. And we want you. The best thing you can do to share the verses of Goat vs. Fish is ask someone you know, are you goat or are you fish? Or type exclamation clip, like, repost, share to your story. Do not be shy about sharing Goat vs. Fish. It's a great way to spread the verses and to share your love of Goat vs. Fish with all you know. Goat vs. Fish cares not if you have 1 or 1 million follows. Goat and Fish share Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. It's Goat vs. Fish. And it is what it is. Goat vs. Fish, the mighty goat fish. Goat vs. Fish is a goat and a fish. And the Goat and Fish versus Goat vs. Fish brings the verses to you. We promise the verses we tell you are true. What's Goat vs. Fish? You haven't a clue. but it is something to do. It is something to do, and it comes from within you. Now, Goat vs. Fish is so used to playing that verses, but what if with a metronome for Goat vs. Fish? We're here, we're practicing the verses. An error occurred while launching this game. The game is already running, thanks. What if Goat vs. Fish? What if Goat vs. Fish? Practice this verses. Getting back to basic verses now, getting back to basic verses with a metronome for Goat vs. Fish. Goat versus Fish. Fish, goat, fish, goat, fish, goat versus. So how quickly do we usually play this versus? This is 100 for Goat versus Fish. This versus is set to 100. It's about what we do. We think Goat vs. Fish maybe plays it slightly faster, but let's try 100 for Goat vs. Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. We feel Goat versus Fish. We feel it's slightly, ever so slightly faster for Goat versus Fish. So let's try 105. 105 for Goat versus Fish. Let's try 105 for Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is Goat versus Fish. And it is what it is. Goat versus Fish, the mighty goatfish. Goat versus Fish is a goat and a fish. And the goat and fish versus. Goat versus Fish brings the verses to you. We promise the verses we tell you are true. What's Goat versus Fish? You haven't a clue. But it is something to do. It is something to do, and it comes from within you. Do you increase it by 5 after playing, cleaning the practice shredding? For this verses, we're very familiar with this verses of Goat versus Fish, so it's more finding the tempo that feels like how we like to sing it on Goat vs. Fish. This feels like a nice versus. Celebration for goats. Now in this verses we do all kinds of versiness, but we wonder how it compares to the original verses. Are we doubling the verses? Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. But Goat vs. Fish always picks up the tempo at that verses. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. We wonder if we're just doubling the verses. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. It's not quite. We're just changing the tempo randomly on Goat vs. Fish. Today, Goat and Fish, I'm feeling super motivated, says Lord Saturn. We're going to film a bunch of cool stuff today, and you'll see it on my page over the next few weeks. Appreciation, Lord Saturn. As we have said, we've got a new clip of Goat vs. Fish, the Sunday sermons on the Church of Goat vs. Fish. Consider exclamation clip and checking out the new verses of Goat vs. Fish. Goat are always versus the fish. Fish are always versus the goat. And it was written and it was wrote that goat versus fish and fish versus goat. And if that doesn't make any sense, just please don't sit on the fence. No, 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 don't sit on the fence. Let's try this verses. We've never tried this verses in time. Let's see what a verse is like. Today, Goat and Fish. Today, Goat and Fish, I'm feeling super motivated. We're gonna film a bunch of cool stuff today, and you'll see it on my page over the next few weeks. I'm feeling glad you're motivated, Saturn. Lysergic freak fish in the river a-wriggling. Celebration, celebration, will we see you and or your band and that tells heroes. If you want to see more, let's see some antenna guys or with goat versus fish for as long as you wish. You know, Lord Saturn. Antagonizer said that they would write a song about goat versus fish. We wonder whatever happened to that versus. Is there still inspiration? Maybe it will be your new big hit versus. Well, we think we need to give some rest to Goat versus Fish. We do have a gig later this versus. We've got a gig later this versus, so we'll give some rest to Goat versus Fish. Yes, and I will do the drums on it. Right now they are preparing for an East Coast tour. Well, that sounds ever so splendid. That sounds ever so splendid, oh yes. So there you have it. That was a musication stream for Goat versus Fish. It still is a musication stream for Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. We just wanted to pick away. And Goat versus Fish feared. Oh, we feared. We feared that you would all look away from Goat versus Fish. That you would hear the picking of Goat versus Fish and you would look away from Goat versus Fish. But that's okay too. Goat versus Fish has learning to do. We have education to do. We have education to grow. And soon, before you know, Goat versus Fish will be shredding along. We'll be shredding along with a new song. And someone will come along and say, wow, Goat versus Fish. You've come a long way. We can see your verse improvements. And the verse improvements of Goat versus Fish, the practice of Goat versus Fish, the benefits will be returned to you, the congregation, will be returned to you, the congregation. And it will help Goat versus Fish to jam and shred in collaboration with other musication makers and other musication vessels of Goat versus Fish. So if Goat versus Fish has not practiced our shredding, well then, do not be surprised if on the Musication Tuesdays you find some shredding of Goat versus Fish. Also, Goat versus Fish, I have news on Hell's Heroes 2027. A few things were whispered to me. Oh, my verses, 2027? Well, let it be verses on this musication stream of Goat versus Fish that Goat versus Fish has purchased tickets to Hell's Heroes 2027. Goat versus Fish has already purchased verses. Goat versus Fish has purchased the verses. The verses have been purchased. So this will mark 3 verses in a row of Goat versus Fish at Hell's Heroes. 3 verses in a row. 3 verses in a row for Hell's Hero. Will Goat versus Fish shack up alone? Will Goat versus Fish find lodging nearer to Hell's Heroes than last verses? Will Goat versus Fish pay a premium for a hotel to be walking verses from Hell's Heroes? We think so. We think so. We think so. Go with Lysergic. There's I Can Fix Amber Heard, giving commands to Goat versus Fish again. Giving commands to Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish will hopefully be the master of celebrations. Maybe one of these verses, goat versus fish, perhaps for a modest verse vestment of several thousand verse American dollars, goat versus fish. Imagine goat versus fish. Imagine goat versus fish. Imagine metal goat versus fish. Imagine metal goat versus fish. Like we still have the classic cloths of goat versus fish, but imagine white leather, cream goat milk cream color leather, spiky shoulders, goat greaves, fish greaves, spiky knees, like fancy knees all over goat versus fish, but then loincloth to pay respect to the classic verses. Loincloth. Posterior cloth with the verses behind goat versus fish, and cloth draping down goat versus fish as well. Crown of fences. War paint goat versus fish. Battle goat versus fish. Warlord goat versus fish at the Metal Fest. Now, wouldn't that be a versus? But to make such leather crafting for goat versus fish would cost thousands and thousands of verse American dollars. However, we think it'd be worth it for goat versus fish. We've got to up the musication presentation on goat versus fish. That would be a very epic versus indeed. Which reminds goat versus fish. Ooh, Lord Saturn, we've got a versus for you. We've got a versus for you. You like making musications. Don't you? You like making musications, don't you? So where's that versus? Goat versus fish. So we found this profile. This is all part of a musication stream. We think this is all part of a musication stream of goat versus fish. This all counts as the verses. Have a look at this. There's an opportunity for you, Lord Saturn. There's an opportunity for you. Hey, I know a guy made my leather armor. You know a guy? Well, put them in touch with Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish wants cream-colored leather armor. Can it be done? Can it be done? We think it can. So here's a versus. Here is a versus. Feral art. Why, look at these. Look at these flyers. Now, we realize that these flyers are perhaps more punk to your metal likings. Fence AI flyers, you say, to Goat versus Fish? That's not what they claim. They do not claim that these are AI flyers. Third versus? What this verse is? Oh, yes. Well, they're saying fence AI flyers. We see. Yes. Goat versus Fish. That's precisely the verses we were going to look at. Fence AI flyers, pay what you want for the real deal. From now until August 2nd, I'm accepting commissions, a pay what you want basis. These will be the typical punk flyers you see on my page. Terms, I'm offering this service purely for advertising purposes. If you want to sell the flyers as merch, that will require additional licensing, which we can discuss. There will be limited revisions for this type of flyer. It's a pay what you want. This offer is for bands who are starting out or have a limited budget. If you have like 100,000 followers, I'm sorry, but you don't qualify. This is only for flyers, not album covers, shirt designs, or anything else. Limit to one design per band. We can work out more if you're in need and pay a fair rate. Turnaround will be within 7 days, so be sure you have all information up front. Fence AI. So Goat versus Fish messaged Feral Art and said, hey, would you be interested in making a flyer for Goat vs. Fish. And they said, hey, still are. We said, is there a slot for the flyers still available? And they said, they still are, says Connor. They still are. Let's see the verses. Well, the verses haven't been made yet. Goat vs. Fish has simply made contact with them just yesterverses and said, hey, are you still accepting commissions? And they said they are. So if you want to have one made for you, realize these are kind of a punk verses. But never the fence. We don't think that it would be offensive or antagonizer to have such a versus, if you wished it. So you want a flyer made? There you are. The Instagram has been linked to you. The Instagram has been linked to you. Fish is currently winning. Fish is currently winning the YouTube poll 60-40, 60-40. And yes, Goat vs. Fish, as we say, Goat vs. Fish will be on the booby trap tonight. You will be destroyed. You will be destroyed. It's a great show. It's a great show. The Booby Trap, Scott Neary's Booby Trap, #1 show in L.A. L.A.'s the best. L.A. Weekly, best of L.A. The Booby Trap on Yelp, best variety show in Los Angeles. And it's got Goat vs. Fish, and it's got Goat vs. Fish. As a matter of verses, didn't we upload Wednesday the 29th? That's this verses. That's this verses. Copy tickets page. We wonder, did they send a link to Goat vs. Fish? Did they send a link to Goat vs. Fish with the information? Because we could try to show it to you. We could try to show it unto you. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. It's not in that verses. It's not in that verses. You're booked. You're booked. July 29th. Why, that's this verses. Performer info. That's just information for specifically for Goat vs. Fish. 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 Oh, they've got all kinds of verses. They've got all kinds of verses. Maybe we can give them a video of Goat vs. Fish. Maybe we can give them some background video of Goat vs. Fish. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some performer secret behind the verses performer info. Getting booked. Share availability. And if you can't see Goat vs. Fish this versus, if you can't see Goat vs. Fish at the Booby Trap today, but you're planning on coming to L.A., Goat vs. Fish will also be on the Booby Trap Wednesday, August 12th, 2 million weeks from now. I'm obsessed by verses. Is that some sort of cologne? We do need some obsession with Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. 6:30 for rigging and tech and all of that versus. Technical versus. Goat vs. Fish. 16 acts a night. Minimize the hassle. Sound will never be perfect. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. If you have a track to play during your act, we can play it off of all of these verses. Audio input, staged measurements. Very professional verses. Very professional verses. Acrobats. Goat vs. Fish. They don't have anything about any background videos to show here. So perhaps we could ask about that versus. I'm obsessed by versus antagonizer song. It's by I'm obsessed by versus is an antagonizer song. Has this already happened, Lysergic Freakfish? Has this already happened? Rihanna Obsessed Remix? The hidden reason you obsess over someone? Versus remix featuring Rick Ross? Obsessed by evil. Obsessed by fences. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. This has been your 2-hour morning motivational musication practice stream. It was a glorious versus. It was a glorious versus, and thank you for your support of Goat vs. Fish. We think we'll see, with practice of Goat vs. Fish, we think we'll see some fast improvements. You'll see shredding by Goat vs. Fish in no verses. In no verses at all. Soon it will be shredding of Goat vs. Fish, and you'll say, where was this versus we've been waiting for? Where was this versus we've been waiting for, Goat vs. Fish? And then Goat vs. Fish will get the leather set up from Lord Saturn, and then it won't be long before Goat vs. Fish is an invitation as a guest onto one of your favorite metal songs. And here comes Goat vs. Fish. And we'll play along with the verses. It'll be a great celebration. It'll be a great celebration. It'll be a great celebration. It will be a great celebration. Goat vs. Fish also wants to give a shout out to one of our YouTube contemporaries. Although they also are on Kick. They're more doing a Kick kind of verses lately. So we'll give them the Kick shout out, but you can find them on YouTube as well. Pessimist Productions. Pessimist Productions, Goat vs. Fish is sending you the Kick link here. Or Pessimist Productions. We'll send you on YouTube as well. We'll send you a YouTube as well. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. We'll send you this verses as well. This verses of Deep Fat Fried. Why are we sending you this verses now? Well, let's show you the old. This is the old intro for Deep Fat Fried. This is something we could learn how to play too. Let's have a look at the old intro to Deep Fat Fried, just for Goat vs. Fish. Just for you in the verses.
Deep fat fried. 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 Deep fat fried.
Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. And look at this. Whoa, it's on Goat vs. Fish. It's on the shirt of GoatVsFish. It's on the shirt of GoatVsFish. And it is signed by them here, though we believe it has been washed out. Why GoatVsFish just received, it does sound like it's a very simple versus. GoatVsFish has received notification from Deep Fat Fried that they may very be well interested in the return of GoatVsFish, to MC a future Deep Fat Fried meetup. Where is this Deep Fat Fried meetup? Well, GoatVsFish can't say. It has not been announced yet. But we have heard information that they enjoyed the MC Master of Celebrations by GoatVsFish at the previous meetup in New Jersey, and that they may seek the services of GoatVsFish once again. Celebration for GoatVsFish, celebration for GoatVsFish, and celebration for Deep Fat Fried. So there you have it. If you are looking for edgy, leftist political content, then you can check out Deep Fat Fried as they scour the interwebiverse for all of the most horrible, fancy things and torture themselves watching it for your entertainment. Tomorrow is GoatVsFish Thursday, where Sunshine, we may have the return of Sunshine once again for a classic versus who shall triumph, the goat or the fish. Let us now go to our dear patrons. Generous donors at patreon.com/GoatVsFish, the humble congregation, Ben Birdperson, the Quaxinator, Jimmy Wrench, Mama Joe, Vrama Joe, Standard Average, Tuggerugger, Hogrim, Eldergrown, Uber Kitten, Patistador, Eventually Gold, Psychic Buckeye 12, Drew, and Hi-Fi Protege, the elite humble congregation, Lord Saturn, Prism Bloom, Karmic, Prue Lawrence, Atro, Sourdough, Watt 9807, That One Bull Guy, and Napoleon Doom, and the Unification Congregation, I Can Fix Amber Heard and Lysergic Fish. Appreciation for your contribution to GoatVsFish. Support GoatVsFish on Patreon. Patreon.com/GoatVsFish. Patreon.com/GoatVsFish. And that will be the verses. That will be our dear musication practice type verses. But guess what? GoatVsFish, we're going to give you one tiny bonus verses just for you. Because if you have been staying around, watching GoatVsFish practice, then you deserve a little bit of fun, don't you? A little bit of fun, so let's do one. Let's have one marble race on GoatVsFish. One marble race on GoatVsFish, just for you, just to keep it true. Verses of GoatVsFish. Verses of GoatVsFish, exclamation play to join a marble race of GoatVsFish. You have 169 seconds to join the verses. Exclamation play to join a race of GoatVsFish. Who will triumph, the goat or the fish? Or will GoatVsFish simply race alone? Exclamation play to join Goat versus Fish. It might be a lone versus. There's Psychic Buckeye 12. Celebration, Psychic Buckeye. Celebration. Psychic Buckeye 12 with the dedication. Glorious, mighty verses, Psychic Buckeye 12. Glorious, mighty verses of dedication. Appreciation. Antagonizer. Obsessed by verses. Goat vs. Fish is sharing with you all the link to Antagonizer on Spotify. Looks like it's just Goat vs. Fish and Psychic Buckeye 12! Exclamation play to join the Marbleization race. GoatVsFish. And I Can Fix Amber Heard joins the verses. Or do you? There they are. I Can Fix Amber Heard trying to cheat by getting ahead. Is there any fish? Is there any fish who would versus the goat? Is there a fish who will versus the goat, Psychic Buckeye 12? Or are you going to leave it to this fence sitter, I Can Fix Amber Heard? Oh, my verses. Nerd alert. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. How goes your versus, Nerd Alert? How goes the nerdiness? Are you still on high alert? Are the nerds still on high alert? Hello. 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 I Can Fix Amber Heard out in the lead, followed by Psychic Buckeye 12, followed by Goat vs. Fish. It's a goat and a fence sitter. By the honor of Goat vs. Fish, will the goat triumph? Will the fence sitter bring shame upon Goat vs. Fish by fencing up the entire verses? Does practice make verses? And here comes Psychic Buckeye 12. Here comes Psychic Buckeye 12. Oh, stop by the fence. Oh, unfair. Unfair, fence sitter. Unfair, putting fences in the way. Putting fences in the way of Psychic Buckeye. I Can Fix Amber Heard getting a little prod in the fence themselves there. Oh, Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Psychic Buckeye 12, somewhat behind now, but who's going to drop first? Who's going to drop first? I Can Fix Amber Heard using the fence to their advantage. Oh, my verses. Oh, no, my verses. Oh, no. Oh, no. Through cunning, deception, and cheating, I Can Fix Amber Heard has placed in first. Well, we'll have to send a sternly worded verses to Marbles to increase their security to avoid being hacked by hack fence sitters like I Can Fix Amber Heard. We'll just have to do that. We'll just have to do that. What do you win? Oh, you don't win. You don't even get nothing, I Can Fix Amber Heard. You don't even get nothing. There's something fancy. The fence sitter can't win because the fence sitter doesn't choose goat or fish, so there's something fancy about this game. Something fancy about this game. Well, there you have it, Goat and Fish. We were here to practice the musications of Goat vs. Fish, and we did. And when you practice something new, you may find that it comes fencily to you. It comes fencily to you. You may feel a pit in one of your many stomachs. You may feel your brain starting to feel a taxation. Your fingers might start to hurt as if your fins have been flipping about for too long. But this is because you are growing strong, because you are growing strong. Whenever you try something new, there can be this tension, goat and fish. There can be fear, goat and fish. It's easy to rest on what you know so well. But some verses, it's time to stretch about, and to do something new, and that's why Goat vs. Fish saw it through on this verses, and we appreciate your accompaniment of Goat vs. Fish on this Musication Tuesday, where the shredding practice will continue on Goat vs. Fish, and we verses that by next Tuesday we'll have something to show you. Appreciation for joining Goat vs. Fish on this very Musication. Appreciation to I Can Fix Amber Heard and Psychic Buckeye 12. Lord Saturn, Lysergic Freak Fish. Lord Saturn, you better send that leather connect to Goat vs. Fish. And next versus I Can Fix Amber Heard. You have something to show Goat vs. Fish? Well, that's what we thought. Next verses, if you want to hear a King of the Hill theme, try asking nicely to Goat vs. Fish. And you may just get what you want. Because you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get Goat vs. Fish. You get Goat vs. Fish? You get Goat vs. Fish. And it was written.
It's like a fish being explicitly pro-water. The water comes with being a fish. If you run out of water, you've got bigger problems.
Right, but the way she's able to communicate with people who might be more on the fence, I think is excellent.
I was just saying stuff. Well, that's not enough, I Can Fix Amber Heard. We expect more from you. We expect more from our congregation. We have versed you many times not to just issue demands to Goat vs. Fish, so saying I was just saying stuff is not a defense, Not a defense whatsoever.
But there is a big difference between falling for a cult when you're young and when you're older. And also, unlike a regular cult, MAGA doesn't really hide how bad it is.
Oh. That was about MAGA? We thought it was just about cults.
Maybe.
Goat vs. Fish.